I scored a touchdown with every single team in college football 26. That's 136 teams in which you'll see their best players score a touchdown against their biggest rival. But before we get into the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We are almost at 100 subscribers at the time I'm filming this video, so any support you do give is greatly appreciated. We'll now be starting the ACC with Boston College. We'll be looking for Lewis Bond, the highest overall on the team, wide open on the deep ball. That is the first touchdown of the video. Lewis Bond, Boston College touchdown. The next team we are going to use are the California Golden Bears up against the Stanford Cardinals, throwing it to Jacob DeJesus, and it's a touchdown on the deep ball as he gritties on his way to the end zone. For the first ranked team of the video, it's the Clemson Tigers, running it with Cade Klubnik. Touchdown Clemson on the QB run. It's a classic sports rivalry in Duke versus UNC. Darian Mensah going for a run on 4th down. Touchdown Duke. We have a huge hole dug out for us. It is number 4 ranked Georgia versus Georgia Tech, but it doesn't matter. We scored a touchdown on the streak. It is Eric Rivers. It's two of the top teams in the state of Florida, Miami versus Florida State. We're going to hit Squirrel White on a deep post. He burns the defender. His speed's going to take him all the way. Touchdown, Florida State. For the very first rushing touchdown of the video by a running back, it's Isaac Brown of Louisville. Halfback stretch, gets into the end zone. That is a touchdown. Hurricanes 1 yard away from a touchdown. It's going to be a rollout. Carson Beck, he gets it in. Touchdown Miami. NC State and the Wolfpack. It is Justin Jolly. Catches it and he is going all the way. Will the corner get him? No, he won't. Touchdown. What a catch and breaking of tackles to get to the end zone. In the Battle of Carolinas, it's UNC versus South Carolina. We throw it to Davion Gauss. He's got the speed. Gets the touchdown. What a play. The backyard brawl, West Virginia versus Pittsburgh. We're going deep to Desmond Reed, the running back. He's got the speed. He's taking it all the way. Running back, deep pass, touchdown. SMU versus TCU, Kevin Jennings, 8 yards out. It's a run. Open field ahead. That's a touchdown. SMU in the Mustangs. 2nd and goal. Stanford throwing it to Sam Roush on the slant. That's a touchdown. Less than a yard away. Dan Villari on the drag. Catches it. And that's a touchdown. Syracuse Orange. Calling motion. 4th and 1. Virginia Cavaliers with the drive on the line. Stretch out with Harrison Whaley. He has the speed. Cuts outside. Touchdown. Virginia. 3rd and 10. Swap the teams, now playing with Virginia Tech. Halfback slip screen to Terrion Stewart. He's got Green ahead. Makes a move. Cuts inside. That's a touchdown with the running back. Virginia Tech touchdown. Halfback slip screen to Damon Claiborne. He gets it. Good blocks. And he's got the speed. Good blocks as he makes it to the end zone. Damon Claiborne. Wake Forest touchdown. Second conference of the video. We are now in the American Conference, playing with Army, throwing it to Hayden Reed, catches it. What a touchdown in double coverage, coming down with that football. Running a wide zone with Charlotte, handing it off to Donald Chaney, makes a move. What a crazy touchdown there by Donald Chaney and the Charlotte 49ers. 3rd and goal at the 9-yard line, throwing it up on the fade to Anthony Smith, mosses the defender. That's a touchdown, East Carolina. 2nd 10 with FAU, looking deep to Easton Messer. He has the speed over the top of the defense. Touchdown, FAU Owls. 1st and goal with the Memphis Tigers. Fake zone jet is the play call. Greg DeRussier has enough space to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. 1st and 10, Navy versus Air Force. Rolling out with Blake Horvath, getting a little bit of space. Running back with the block. He has wide open Green ahead. Blake Horvath, Navy, touchdown. 1st and 10, North Texas Mean Green. Calling a drag route with Shoddy Clayne Johnson. Has Green ahead, touchdown. 2nd and goal, Tulsa versus the Rice University. Max Baltazar gets the outside corner of the end zone, touchdown, Rice Owls. Inside zone, Temple versus Buffalo. Jay Ducker gets it on the handoff, touchdown, Temple. Tulane versus Southern Miss. First and goal, passing it to Arnold Barnes. Good blocks, hurdles his way on into the end zone. What a play for a touchdown. Choosing to run a speed option on this one, and we flip it to Dominic Richardson, and he dances on his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Tulsa. Fourth and goal, UAB versus Memphis. Javon Jackson, the running back, catches it. Touchdown, UAB. Byron Brown, USF versus UCF, scores a touchdown on the option play. Touchdown, Bulls. 4th and 1 at the 4-yard line. UTSA versus Texas State Bobcats. Robert Henry Jr. takes it in for a touchdown. Roadrunners score. 4th and inches. Arizona versus Arizona State. Fafita launches a bomb to the corner of the end zone. What a catch. Touchdown, Arizona Wildcats. Arizona State versus Arizona, just swap the teams here. We're going to heave one up to Jordan Tyson. Catches it on the street. Arizona State touchdown. 3rd and goal, Baylor versus TCU. On the out route, the running back catches it, and it's a touchdown. Baylor, Washington leads it into the end zone. 1st and 10, ranked BYU versus Utah. Throwing it to Chase Roberts, catches it into the end zone. He goes, burning the corner. BYU touchdown. 4th and goal, rolling out, throwing it to Tawee Walker, catches it on the backside of the end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati. 3rd and inches on the read option. Salter makes a move, and he is in for a touchdown. Colorado's new QB scores. 3rd and goal, Houston versus Rice. And passing to Tanner Koziel, catches it, double coverage, Houston touchdown. 3 yards away from the end zone. 2nd and goal, ranked Iowa State versus Missouri. Carson Hansen goes to the left, good block, and that is a touchdown. Your Cyclones score. 3rd and 16, Kansas versus Kansas State. Throwing it deep is Jalen Daniels. Henderson Jr. has the speed, burns the corner, and he's into an end zone. Touchdown, Kansas. Oh, what a pass. What a pass. Oh my goodness, what a run. It is Brown. Avery Jackson connects. Touchdown, Kansas State. 1st and goal, Oklahoma State versus Tulsa. Texas route by Freddie Brock. Inside, touchdown, Oklahoma State. 1st and 10, Texas versus TCU. Going deep, and wide open is a McAllister. TCU scores versus Texas. 1st and 10, at the 10-yard line, throwing it to Terrence Carter on the slant. That's a touchdown by the tight end of Texas Tech. Less than a yard away from the end zone, halfback slip screen is the call. Jaden Nixon runs it in. UFC scores against UConn. We are mere inches away from a touchdown. We're doing a QB sneak, and Dampier is able to get in for Utah. 2nd and goal, West Virginia versus Marshall in the herd. White gets in as he fights through tackles and defenders, makes it into the end zone for a touchdown, West Virginia. 1st and goal, no linebackers in sight. QB draw, Outmeyer's going to snap it, rolls to the right and scores. Touchdown, Illinois. 3rd and 3 at the 42-yard line. Elijah Surratt on the corner route, catches it and gets past the defender. That's a touchdown, Indiana Hoosiers. 3rd and 2 at the 4-yard line, running it inside with Kamari Moulton, finds a gap and he scores. Touchdown, Hawkeyes. Maryland hitting Dorian Fleming underneath, and he's wide open on the drag route. Touchdown, Maryland. 3rd and 4, they stack the line. Haynes gets the handoff, running outside their space. Another touchdown. This one is Haynes of Michigan. Michigan versus Michigan State. Rolling out with the quarterback. X is open inside, catches it, McCray. What a acrobatic touchdown grab. 3 yards out from the end zone, Minnesota versus Wisconsin, running a speed option, dumps it off to Taylor, and he goes in. Touchdown, Minnesota. 4th and 18, Nebraska versus Oklahoma, looking for Dane Key on the left side of the field. He is wide open, secures the catch, core the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska. 1st and goal, Illinois versus Northwestern, running with Cam Porter. Cam Porter scores. Touchdown, Northwestern. Ohio State versus Michigan, going deep for Jeremiah Smith, one of the 2 cover athletes in the game. College football 26, that's a touchdown. Ohio State Buckeyes. Oregon versus Washington, 2nd and goal. Running back on the wheel route, gets it, touchdown Hughes, Oregon Ducks score. 2nd and goal. Penn State versus Michigan State, halfback screen. 2, Nicholas Singleton gets to the corner, pylon, touchdown Penn State. 4th and 10, Purdue versus Illinois. Rolling out to Maccabee. It's wide open near the end zone. Touchdown, Purdue. 4th and 10, Maryland versus Rutgers. Throwing a nice little lob to Sheffield. Has to turn his body. Spins to the left side. And it's all green ahead. Up to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Rutgers. 4th and 9, USC versus UCLA, throwing it deep to Redna, scoring UCLA touchdown. Stanford versus USC, passing it up to Lane. Oh my goodness, he's got space on the corner. That's another deep touchdown in this video. USC scores. 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line. Washington versus Washington State, looking to punch it in with the running back. Coleman is able to get in. Nice gap made by the O-line. That's a touchdown, Huskies. 4th and 9, Wisconsin versus Iowa. Looking for a deep shot. We're going to go ahead and throw it deep. And Vinny Anthony is the wide receiver. He catches it and outruns the defender. Wisconsin Badgers touchdown. Things get much harder as we play with lower overall teams such as the Delaware Blue Hens. It is 3rd and goal in the CUSA conference, but we score with the star running back Silver. That's a touchdown. Owens, nice, runs left. Can he outrun? He will. That is an FIU touchdown. 10, Jack State. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Cook. Oh my goodness, that's a touchdown. Will it stand, please? It does. Let's go! Oh my gosh, that's wide. That's so wide. Williams to Rogers, touchdown, Kennesaw State. Let's go! 3rd and goal, 16-yard line. Liberty versus Old Dominion. Running back is stuck. We hit him though. Gray gets in. Let's go, baby! Oh wow, Wilkerson's going all the way. Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Hurdle, touchdown. Oh my goodness, I could hit that. Walker, come up with it. He does! Middle Tennessee scores. Let's go, baby. Another one. 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line, Missouri State Bears. Running with Lawrence, and he bounces into the end zone. Touchdown. Nice. What a dot. What a throw. King, New Mexico State touchdown. Finally. We did it. Block. Yes. Border gets in. Touchdown. Bearcats. Fade on Odom. Catch that. Oh, on his head, baby. Gritty. Touchdown. UTEP. Henry. Left side. Safety. Moves away. Oh my gosh, one-on-one coverage. You got that. Oh, good ball placement. What a catch. Touchdown. 2nd and goal, Notre Dame versus Michigan. On the halfback stretch, it's Jeremiah Love taking it to the end zone. He scores. Jeremiah Love and Notre Dame. UConn versus UMass. Throwing it up deep to Skylar Bell. He catches it and he burns the corner. Enough speed and separation to get into the end zone. That's a touchdown, UConn. Oh my goodness, Jake Newell. What a pass. What a run. Tight end has got it. That's a touchdown, Jack Newell of Akron. 1st and goal at the 7. It's Ball State. Ready to ball out with this tutty. And Ashley gets it in. Touchdown, Cardinals. Looking for one more yard. 2nd and goal. Rolling out to the left. Got good blocking there. And that's wide open space. Pine's going to be able to walk this in. Touchdown, Bowling Green. Let's go. Buffalo. Going in. LJ Henderson. What a catch. Buffalo scores. 4th and goal. 3 yards out. Looking for the running back. Biggins is wide open. That's an easy touchdown. Touchdown, Central Michigan. Going to be a little trigger happy here on 4th and 10. Want it all in a deep play. Lockett reaches out for it. Diving catch. Touchdown. Eastern Michigan. 3rd and 10, Kent State versus Akron. Go ahead, throw it to Etheridge. And oh my goodness, he's got that. Touchdown, Kent State. If you get good blocks on the left, we can roll out. They blitz on the left. Why? Catch. Gets the toes. Was that not a touchdown? Yeah, that's definitely in. That's definitely in. Review that. And that's a touchdown, baby. 1 more yard, Northern Illinois versus Ball State. Johnson Jr. is going to get it to the left side. Good block, good gap, and touchdown NIU. Hendricks. Right, so, oh my gosh, RB has so much speed. He just blew right past that guy. Jordan Jr., that's a touchdown. Ohio. Toledo versus Bowling Green. Oh my goodness. First play, Van Ross, 1st and 10, touchdown, Toledo. What a run and catch. 3rd and 4, UMass versus UConn. Oh, we're launching that. Oh, you can catch that too. That's a touchdown, UMass. What a play. Western Michigan versus Central Michigan, 1 yard away, 1st and goal. Handing it off to Buckley, and he's got that. Too easy. Touchdown, Western Michigan. Nice. Carson, all the way. Air Force. Touchdown. 4th and goal. Boise versus Fresno State. Going to throw it to him. It's Matt Lauder who comes down with it. Touchdown, Boise. 1st and 10, Colorado State versus the Air Force. Go ahead, throw it up deep to the running back. That's Justin Marshall. Got the separation. Touchdown, Rams. 2nd and 8. Go. Touchdown, Donaldson of Fresno State. 3rd and 10, Hawaii versus San Jose State. It's going deep to Senecal. Good route. Good catch. Laying his body out on the line. Touchdown, Hawaii. Good run. Herschel Turner. Oh my goodness, going all the way. Nevada versus UNLV. He scores. 3rd and goal at the 1. New Mexico versus New Mexico State. Handoff to Humphrey. Fits in through the gap, and that's a touchdown, New Mexico. Fresno State versus San Diego State. 1st and 10. Running a little Texas route with Sun, and he catches it. What a pass and throw. Touchdown, San Diego State. Streak, San Jose State versus Hawaii. Hold up. Chalk is wide open. What an easy touchdown as he walks in. Touchdown, San Jose State. 4th and 1. Halfback stretch to the right side. Good block. Set up. Oh, can he make the corner? He gets to the pylon. Touchdown, UNLV. 3rd and goal at the 3-yard line. Running the football, Davis. Utah State versus Utah. Here we go. Snap it and run through the gap. Bounces off a defender and makes it in for a touchdown. Utah State. 1st and goal, Wyoming versus Utah State. Zig route by John Michael Gallenborg. And that's a touchdown, Wyoming. Hankerson deep on the right side versus this Oregon defense. He is running past them and he scores. End zone touchdown, Beavers. 2nd and 3, Washington Huskies versus the Washington State Cougars. Throwing it to Angel Johnson on the underneath route, and that's enough to get into the end zone. He scores. 1st and 10 from the 45, Alabama versus LSU. Looking for Ryan Williams, the 2nd of the 2 cover athletes, the young phenom. Back to the end zone, touchdown, gets the feed in, touchdown, Alabama. 3rd and 10, Arkansas versus Missouri. Blake on the left side is who we're looking for. We're going to launch it up deep to him. Has a step. Is the throw good? It is. That's a touchdown, Arkansas. Blake and the Razorbacks. 1st and 10, Alabama versus Auburn. Field is completely flipped. Looking for Singleton in the back in the end zone. We're just going to lob it up to him. And in triple coverage, comes down with it. Auburn scores. 1st and goal at the 3. Read option with DJ Lagway. Gonna run it with him and makes a good cut into the end zone. Gators score. Second and goal at the 1. Ranked Georgia versus ranked Tennessee. Wide open is Oscar Delp in the end zone. Bulldogs touchdown. Second and 5. Kentucky versus Vanderbilt. Running it with Dowdle. And he's in for a touchdown. Kentucky Wildcats. LSU versus Ole Miss. Looking for a pass. Garrett Nussmeier is going one-on-one over there with Brown. Brown uses his body and scores. That flag is a pass interference on the defense, and that will stand. Touchdown, Tigers. Second goal at the 2-yard line, Mississippi State versus Ole Miss. We run it in with the running back. That's a touchdown, Bulldogs. First and 10, Missouri versus Nebraska. First and 10. Oh my goodness. Hardy has so much speed. Spin, easy, touchdown, Tigers. 15 yards out from the end zone, looking for the slant. Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. Slant works good. Touchdown, Burks and the Sooners. First and 10. Ole Miss versus Mississippi State. Tight end attack. Catch that. Wow, what a dive. Touchdown, Ole Miss. Second and goal, South Carolina versus Unk. Rolling out. Good scramble ability. Lenore Sellers has the speed. Best scrambling quarterback in the game. It is South Carolina with the touchdown. First and 10. Tennessee versus Vanderbilt. Wide open. It's Kitzelman. Stiff arm. He gets shoved to the ground. Tennessee Volunteer touchdown. Fourth and goal, Texas versus Oklahoma. Rolling out, Arch Manning to the pylon. Touchdown, Texas. Texas A&M versus Arkansas. One-on-one. Going deep to Kevin Concepcion. He outruns the defender. Aggies score. First and 10. Vanderbilt versus Georgia Tech. Looking, scanning the field. Bullet pass. Dowers gets it! Vanderbilt scores! Final conference of the video. It's the Sun Belt. We're so close. Appalachian State versus Charlotte. Fourth and goal at the 7-yard line. Passing to Kanye Roberts. He stumbles his way in, but it's a touchdown, Mountaineers. First and 10. Memphis versus Arkansas State. Good adjustment. Rucker gets it. Fourth and goal, Coastal Carolina versus Liberty. Throwing it up to Tucker. Back to the end zone. Touchdown! How did he just catch that? Oh my goodness. First and 10, Georgia Southern versus Appalachian State. Throwing it to Josh Dallas. Comes down with it in the middle of the field. Scores. Second and 10, Georgia Southern versus Georgia State. Looking for the wide receiver, Star Hurst catches it, runs, 5, touchdown, Georgia State. Third and goal, exactly 1 yard away from this end zone. James Madison versus Delaware, looking to hand it off to Petaway, and good blocks up front leads to a rushing touchdown, James Madison. First and goal from the 1 yard line, Louisiana versus UL Monroe. Gonna hand it off to Perry, and he's in. Touchdown, Ragin' Cajuns. Second and goal from the 7, passing it to the tight end, Payne, and he has enough speed to outrun the linebacker. Touchdown, Marshall. Devin Roche, 2 running backs in the backfield, looking for a run, and touchdown. First and goal, he makes it in, lowers the shoulder, and scores. Old Dominion. Second and goal, 7-yard line, South Alabama versus Troy. Passing it to Bullock, dives for the end zone. What a acrobatic flip and touchdown. Braxton looking to lob it up deep to the end zone. Good run by Metcalf. Gets past the defender. Touchdown, Golden Eagles. From the 1 yard line, we're going to run it in with Pear on the first and goal. Texas State versus Sam Houston, running in with Pear, and he gets it in. Bobcats score, touchdown. First and 10, Troy versus Jack State. Corner makes a weird adjustment. We throw it up to Thomas, and that's an easy touchdown. Trojans score. 3rd and 10, UL Monroe versus Louisiana Tech. Final touchdown of the video. Passing it on the slant, wide open, touchdown, feed in, scoring, UL Monroe. I want to thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Please subscribe and like the video. This video took so long to film. And let me know what your favorite touchdown or college team was that was in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one. See ya.